In the vast barren deserts of northwestern Saudi Arabia, a groundbreaking project is taking shape, a vision so ambitious that it has captured the world's imagination and raised numerous questions. Neom and its centerpiece, the Line, a futuristic city that aims to redefine urban living as we know it. But as with all grand visions, the road to realization is filled with challenges, skepticism, and uncertainty. What lies beneath the surface of this multi-trillion-dollar dream? Join us as we investigate the fascinating yet complex world of Neom and the Line. In early 2021, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, often referred to as MBS, announced an ambitious project that would astonish the world: the Line. This was not just another construction project, it was a radical rethinking of how cities should be designed and function in the 21st century. The Line was to be a linear city, stretching 170 kilometers across the desert, consisting of two parallel skyscrapers towering over the landscape. These skyscrapers would be taller than iconic structures like New York's One World Trade Center or Chicago's Willis Tower, yet they would extend continuously for 170 kilometers, creating a colossal enclosed city. Between these skyscrapers, an enclosed atrium would form a massive walled city, compact in land area but immense in floor space. The Line was designed to house up to 9 million residents, more than the population of New York City, within a floor space of just 34 square kilometers. To put that in perspective, this floor space would surpass the combined total of all 5 boroughs of New York City. The vision for the Line was nothing short of utopian. The city would eliminate cars entirely, relying instead on a super-fast underground train capable of traversing the entire length of the city in just 20 minutes. The Line would be powered by renewable energy. It would feature cutting-edge technologies like flying robot taxis, robotic housemaids, an artificial moon, and constant surveillance powered by artificial intelligence. It was a city straight out of a science fiction novel. But as with all grand visions, the devil is in the details. While the initial cost estimate for the Line was a staggering $200 billion, this figure quickly ballooned to approximately $2 trillion, an amount that exceeds the annual GDP of Brazil and is roughly twice Saudi Arabia's nominal GDP. The sheer scale and cost of the project led many to question its feasibility. By 2024, it became clear that the Saudi government had to revise its targets. The initial plan for the Line was scaled back significantly. Instead of completing the entire 170-kilometer stretch by 2030, the new target was to complete just 2.4 kilometers, with far fewer residents moving in than initially projected. This revision raised concerns about the viability of the project and whether it could ever live up to its original vision. However, despite the challenges, construction on the Line continued. It became the largest ongoing construction effort globally, involving massive excavation and foundation work in the desert. The Line is just one part of Neom, a $500 billion plan announced in 2017 to build 10 futuristic cities in the northwest desert region of Saudi Arabia. Beyond the Line, Neom is set to include an octagon-shaped floating industrial city called Oxagon and a mountain ski resort known as Trojana, which is set to host the Asian Winter Games in 2029. The geographical location of Neom is strategically significant. Situated near Saudi Arabia's closest point to Europe and the Suez Canal, Neom has the potential to link Saudi and Egyptian tourism industries through a bridge. This location also aligns with growing Saudi-Israeli cooperation, as both nations view Iran as a mutual threat and share significant economic interests. But as with the Line, Neom has faced substantial challenges. The project's enormous cost and the daunting task of developing infrastructure in a region with extreme heat and scarce water resources have raised concerns. Critics have questioned the feasibility and sustainability of Neom. Neom is being funded by the Saudi government through its sovereign wealth entity, the Public Investment Fund, PIF. The official cost to build Neom is $500 billion, which is 50% more than the country's entire federal budget for the year 2024. But analysts estimate that the ultimate cost could exceed $2 trillion. Saudi Arabia's government budget has been in a deficit since late 2022, when the world's largest oil exporter began slashing production to accelerate global prices. The government has forecast a deficit of $21 billion for the year 2024, putting additional pressure on the PIF. The PIF, which controls assets of about $900 billion, had just $15 billion in cash reserves as of September 2023. Raising capital for Neom and other large-scale projects is a key challenge for the Saudi government. The Gulf state has been exploring other avenues to shore up capital, including selling government bonds and shares in its national oil company, Saudia Aramco. However, foreign direct investment has remained far below targets, underlining Riyadh's struggle to attract funding from private companies and international investors. The construction of the line and other Neom projects has not been without controversy. The development threatens to displace indigenous communities, particularly the Huaytat tribe. Reports of inadequate compensation and forced evictions have led to conflicts between locals and security forces, with some residents resisting eviction and facing lethal force. The Saudi government's approach has drawn criticism, contrasting sharply with the project's ambitious promises. Environmental concerns also loom large. The proposed reflective exterior of the line could harm local wildlife, particularly migratory birds that may collide with the mirrored surface. Additionally, the environmental impact of massive desalination projects required to supply water for the line poses significant risks to marine life and increases energy demands. As Saudi Arabia continues to pursue its Vision 2030 objectives, the success or failure of Neom and the line will play a critical role in shaping the future of the kingdom's economic and social landscape. The project's sheer scale and ambition are both its greatest strengths and its most significant challenges. If Neom and the line succeed, they could redefine urban living and solidify Saudi Arabia's place on the global stage. But if they fail, they could become symbols of overreach and impracticality. Only time will tell whether MBS's grand vision will be realized or whether it will join the ranks of other ambitious projects that never came to fruition. For now, the world watches with bated breath as the story of Neom and the line develops in the desert sands of Saudi Arabia. Subscribe to Truth Revealed to stay intrigued and informed.